Dust chokes the throat of the world's greatest city. It is February 10th, 1258. The gates of Baghdad groan open, not for trade, but for surrender. Caliph Al-Musta'sim walks out to meet Hulagu Khan, believing his divine lineage offers protection. He is mistaken. What the Mongols did to Baghdad's royal family was a warning to the world. No walls are high enough. The air smells of burning cedar and stale sweat. Inside the palace, the silk hangings are torn down. The floors are covered in thick, red royal carpets, wool woven to muffle the steps of the faithful. Now, they will serve a darker purpose. The caliph is separated from his guards. His sons are herded away. The treasury is breached, but the gold is ignored for a moment. Hulagu watches the caliph with the cold curiosity of a butcher examining a prize. The question hangs in the smoke. Why did the caliph believe he could bargain with a storm? And what irreversible cost will his entire bloodline pay for that arrogance? The ground you walk on can become your grave. If you enjoy these dark histories, leave a like and subscribe and comment below where you're listening from. And now, back to the story. The procession moves from the marble halls of the Abbasid Palace to the muddy, sprawling tent city of the Ilkhanate. The transition is absolute. There are no eunuchs here to clear the path, only the rough shove of Mongol guards smelling of fermented mare's milk and iron. The caliph, once the shadow of God on earth, is stripped of his heavy brocade robes. He is left in a plain tunic, shivering in the biting February wind. Inside the command tent, Uyghur scribes sit cross-legged, brushes hovering over scrolls. They are not recording history, they are auditing assets. The royal family is not listed by name, but by utility. Artisans are pushed to one side, engineers to another. The women of the harem are counted like livestock, 700 concubines, 1,000 servants, faces uncovered to the harsh daylight for the first time. The Mongols check their teeth and limbs, assessing value for the slave markets of Karakoram. The caliph is merely the head of the ledger, an entry waiting to be closed out. The Mongols do not loot in chaos. They dismantle with administrative precision. The ink dries faster than the blood spills. Hulagu offers a strange mercy. He orders the caliph brought before his own hoarded wealth. The towers of gold, the chests of precious stones, accumulated over 5 centuries of Abbasid rule. The Khan gestures to a golden platter, filled not with rice or meat, but with dinars and pearls. "Eat," the Khan commands. "If you do not eat this gold, why did you keep it? Why did you not use it to pay your soldiers or reinforce your walls?" The caliph stares at the cold metal. He does not beg. In the silence of the tent, stripped of his divinity, a quiet resolve stiffens his spine. He realizes the gold was never his power. It was his cage. The mercy of the meal is a mockery, revealing the true cost of his hesitation. He pushes the plate away, the metal scraping harshly against wood. There is no negotiation with a force that views civilization as pasture. He is no longer a prisoner of war. He is a lesson waiting to be taught. Wealth cannot buy breath when the air is gone. The shaman throws bones into the fire and reads the cracks. The verdict is absolute. The blood of a king must not touch the earth, or the sky will weep storms for a generation. Hulagu accepts the prophecy with a nod. The condition is set. The caliph will not be beheaded, he will be contained. He will not be made a martyr with a public execution. He will simply cease to exist in the visible world. The mercy of not being cut by the sword is revealed as a suffocating cage. Soldiers drag a heavy bundle into the center of the camp. It is the same royal red carpet seen in the palace, now stained with mud and soot. It is unrolled with a heavy thud. The intricate geometric patterns, designed to lead the eye toward Mecca, now point nowhere. The caliph is brought forward. He sees the thick wool and understands the physics of his demise. He stops. For a second, the motion of the camp freezes around him. Al-Musta'sim's hand rises, fingers trembling, and he touches the edge of his own robe, a single, futile anchor to the material world. He looks at the carpet, then at the horses gathering on the periphery. He does not scream. He does not fall to his knees to beg the Khan for a quick death. He straightens his back. When the guards grab his arms, he offers a single cold refusal to their roughness. Do not tear the tunic. It is not a command of power, but a final assertion of dignity. Pressure turns to darkness. He is pushed down onto the wool. The soldiers roll the carpet tight. The world of light, the February wind, and the smell of smoke are cut off. He is encased in the very symbol of his dynasty's luxury. The wool presses against his mouth, filling his nose with the scent of ancient dust and trapped fear. Bound in darkness, the silence becomes absolute. What was meant to break him, the isolation, becomes his armor. Inside the roll, he is untouchable by human hands. He is no longer a prisoner. He is a package. The fear evaporates, replaced by the crushing reality of physics. The why is resolved. This is not just execution. It is a loophole in the laws of nature. The price is not just his life, but the complete erasure of his physical form without violating the Mongol taboo. Outside, the ground begins to vibrate. The thunder of hooves approaches. It is not a charge of war, but a rhythmic trampling march. The Mongol cavalry rides over the carpet, once, twice, again. The heavy hooves strike the wool, muffling the sound of breaking bone. The earth is spared the blood, but it shakes with the impact. Inside the dark, the caliphate ends not with a proclamation, but with the dull, rhythmic thud of a horse's weight, crushing the breath from the world. Stone remembers what the eyes cannot see. The smoke over Baghdad does not clear for 40 days. The Tigris River runs black, not with silt, but with ink. The contents of the House of Wisdom, centuries of astronomy, mathematics, and poetry, are thrown into the water, dissolving into a slurry of lost knowledge. The Mongols ride on, satisfied that the head of the snake has been crushed into the mud. They believe the Abbasid line ended under the hooves of their cavalry. But in the ruins of the riverbank, a different reality takes shape. A figure moves through the charred skeleton of the palace walls. He ignores the scattered coins and the broken porcelain. He moves a loose stone in the floor of the ruined private chambers, his hands coated in the ash of the tapestry that once hung above. Beneath the masonry lies a small cavity, empty of gold, but smelling of camphor and preservation. The Mongols looted the treasury, but they missed the pockets of the faithful. Evidence suggests that, while the family was massacred, the legitimacy they carried was not physical. It was transferable. Fire consumes the page, but it cannot burn the memory of the text. The scene shifts west, away from the corpse-choked river, to the citadel of Cairo. It is 1261, 3 years after the trampling. The Mamluk Sultan Baybars, a man of iron and ambition, stands in a stone courtyard. A man enters, Abbasid Al-Musta'sim, an uncle of the murdered caliph who slipped through the Mongol net. He is gaunt, his robes are dusty, but he carries the weight of the name. There are no speeches of vengeance. The rite is wordless and transactional. Baybars hands him a sword. Ahmed hands Baybars a blessing. A black robe is placed over Ahmed's shoulders. It is the investiture of the Shadow Caliphate. The Mongols believed that by wrapping the caliph in a carpet and crushing him, they had killed the office. The reveal contradicts the assumption of Act 1. The lineage was not broken, merely displaced. The caliphate survived, but it was transformed from a divine empire into a political tool for a military junta. The Mongols destroyed the body, but they failed to kill the ghost. Cairo documents record the transaction in cold wax. The name of the Abbasids appears on coins again, minted in gold that the Mongols never touched. The warning to the world was delivered, but the world simply moved the target. To kill a ghost, you must first find where it haunts. The Tigris eventually runs clear. The ink washes out into the Persian Gulf, leaving the water transparent again, but the soil remembers the salt. The great irrigation canals, the arteries that kept the desert at bay for 5,000 years, clogged with silt. The engineers who knew the flow rates are dead. The farmers who cleared the sluices are gone. The land turns gray and hard. Baghdad contracts, shrinking from the center of the world to a provincial ruin inhabited by wild dogs and scavengers. In the tax ledgers of the Ilkhanate, the column for the Abbasid royal household is not crossed out. It is simply left blank. The scribes do not waste ink on what does not exist. There is no record of a burial for Al-Musta'sim. There is no mausoleum, no stele, no marker. The Mongol bureaucracy is efficient. The asset was liquidated, the account closed. Travelers passing through the region decades later do not hear the call to prayer from the great minarets. They hear the wind whistling through gaps in the broken masonry. They find shards of blue-glazed tile in the mud, fragments of the floor where the royal red carpet once lay. The carpet itself is gone, rotted into the earth or eaten by moths, but the vibration of the trampling remains in the cultural memory. The warning was heeded. Kings in Europe and Asia do not look at the ruin and see a tragedy. They see a precedent. The immunity of the divine is a myth. The echo returns to the opening image. The gates that groaned open in Act 1 are no longer standing. There is no barrier between the city and the desert. The shadow of God in Cairo sits on a cushion, wearing the black robe, but he commands no armies. He is a relic, a costume worn to legitimize the rule of soldiers. The irreversible cost was not just a dynasty, but the illusion of permanence. Civilization is not stone. It is wool, flammable, fragile, and easily rolled up. On the plain outside the city walls, the grass grows in uneven patches. The ground is flat, compacted by the weight of 1,000 horses, hiding the bone dust beneath. Subscribe, hit the bell, and like. Silence is the only history that never lies.